Hello, everyone. My name is Dawn, and welcome to another episode of The Chamber Within. Today, I want to do something a bit different. I'd like to share a book review that I read this past week. Now, this book was written over 100 years ago, published back in 1925, and is landing perfectly within the context of our current times. It's focused on spirituality and metaphysical philosophy. This book is called The Game of Life and How to Play It. Now, it's the size of a pamphlet and about 110 pages, so it's an easy and quick read. It's filled with many key affirmations and mental reframes to help you neutralize or redirect issues that you or I may struggle with in our day to day lives. Now, immediately on page 4, this jumped out at me. The imagination has been called the scissors of the mind, and it is ever cutting day by day. The pictures man sees there, and sooner or later he meets his own creations in his outer world. To train the imagination successfully, man must understand the workings of his mind. And I'll add to that, me, Dawn, I will add to that we must also understand the power of it. This book was written by Florence Scovel Shinn. As I read more, I noticed that the author gives us more of an insight into the part she plays in her own community. She often starts off a story with this person who came to me for a word or the word, and basically they are looking for a perspective in which to turn their situation around. She was well known for when I mentioned reframes, kind of affirmations or a way to see your particular situation. So, for example, this is one of her stories. A woman came to me in great distress. Her daughter had determined to take a very hazardous trip, and the mother was filled with fear. She said she had used every argument, had pointed out the dangers to be encountered, and forbidden her to go. But the daughter became more and more rebellious and determined. I said to the mother, "You are forcing your personal will upon your daughter, which you have no right to do, and your fear of the trip is only attracting it, for man attracts what he fears." I added, "Let go and take your mental hands off. Put it in God's hands and use this statement. I put the situation in the hands of infinite love and wisdom. If this trip is the divine plan, I bless it and no longer resist. But if it is not divinely planned, I give thanks that it is now dissolved and dissipated." A day or two after that, her daughter said to her, "Mother, I have given up the trip," and the situation returned to its native nothingness. "It is learning to stand still," she says, "which seems so difficult for man." Now, what stuck out to me was that it reminded me of when I was worried about my own daughter leaving to go on a little excursion, which was only about an hour and a half away. Nothing too terrible, but I was, of course, worried sick nonetheless. I had always struggled with worrying about her in many areas of my life. Just, I was a worry ward. It was during this time when I was in my bathroom alone, and alone, worried, sick, just thinking of all the things that could go wrong, when I heard a soft voice whisper in my ear saying, "She's all right." In that moment, I felt different. I felt sure of her safety. I knew she was going to be okay. Actually, more than okay, right? I felt this warm feeling that came in on my left side as I heard these words spoken to me. And it was like a thought I could hear, but I knew it was high guidance, redirecting my focus from fear to love. And it has ever changed me. Whenever I think about something bad happening or I have a quick worry about her whereabouts, that voice repeats in my mind, "She's okay." So much so that I say it out loud, to neutralize the fear. And it has been super helpful. So I really, really enjoyed this book. Along with affirmations, there are also a number of anecdotes about how having faith and knowing unexpected good things had come to pass in the lives of the people that she has helped. So another one I'll share here with you. I won't spoil the book, but there's just so much in it. I'll just give you a little nugget here. This one is from the chapter Denials and Affirmations. If one desires a home, friend, position, or any other good thing, make the demand for the divine selection. For example, Infinite Spirit, open the way for my right home, my right friend, my right position. I give thanks it now manifests under grace in a perfect way. The latter part of the statement is most important. For example, I knew a woman who demanded $1,000. Her daughter was injured and they received $1,000 indemnity. So it did not come in a perfect way. The demand should have been worded in this way: Infinite Spirit, I give thanks to the $1,000, which is mine by divine right, is now released and reaches me under grace in a perfect way. And this also stuck out at me because I was watching a TikTok about someone needing money, and she got her money, um, but the way that she asked for it was in haste and out of desperation, and she crashed her vehicle. She lost her car, but got the insurance money, and it was the amount that she wanted. And I thought that was incredibly interesting. Um, this was written over 100 years ago, and that TikTok was made maybe a few months ago. Um, and it just gave me pause, like to see the same message from different messengers. And then one more here I'll give you for guidance. This is what this affirmation is for. I am divinely sensitive to my intuitive leads and give instant obedience to thy will. A lot of information in this book is about trusting your intuition, yourself. Many of these stories are about people coming to her for guidance. And truly, which I love, a great teacher, at least in my eyes, will always lead you back to self. So she had another affirmation where you repeat, I am receiving the perfect lead, as in, the perfect breadcrumbs that work for me in my life. Not just asking for a thing, but the circumstances that come along with that thing. Maybe a home, maybe a friend, a spouse, a vacation, whatever it is. But it doesn't come at the cost of something else, or at the cost of something else that isn't followed by grace or wrapped in grace, if you know what I mean. So I love that. I'm receiving the perfect lead. She's trying to teach these people who are coming to her for guidance that the knowing is within yourself. It is within you. The kingdom of God is in you. You are connected to everything around you. Um, yes, things work out and it may look like chaos, but it is working for your greater good if you would just get out of your own way. But ultimately and truly, your path is laid out for you for what you want if you trust your inner guidance. And I think that's a very, very strong message. It's a message that I get behind. It's a message that I support. And so that's why I wanted to kind of highlight this new book that I've read and bring it to you. Now, Miss Florence Scovel Shinn has other works. Your Word is Your Wand, written in 1928. Then the next book, The Secret Door to Success. And after that, Power of the Spoken Word. And then finally, her posthumous work, The Path of Intuition, which was published in 2013. I plan to get the next few books. They're only like $5.53 currently on Amazon. And so, like I said, it's an easy read. They're about 85 to 100 pages each, and it is very straightforward to the point. Here are affirmations that work. You can reword them and rework them to your benefit, because you ultimately are trying to rewire and reframe the way that you see your life in order to have it work out for you. So thank you so much for joining me this week. I hope this helped on some level. If you have any questions about the book that I've just reviewed or anything else I've said in the past, or if you just have a question about your journey. I would love to hear it. You can contact me on YouTube, my YouTube channel, The Chamber Within, or reach out via email at thechamberwithin@yahoo.com. Have a great week, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye.